Hi, my fellow hiker, Breeze from Vaucluse here to share with you my experience, my first experience of hiking trails in the northeast part of Phoenix called the McDowell Sonoran Preserve Southern Range, based on how they describe it in the map. Absolutely unbelievable. This was my first hike, so if you've been here before and this sounds pretty basic of a description, it's because, well, it was my first time, absolutely completely new to the area. And I'm going to be sharing with you probably several hikes in this area because I recently moved out here, and I just thought it would be nice to just share with you my takeaways. You know, moving to Phoenix, I would think it's just going to be flat, it's going to be a desert. Absolutely not. So I was surprised. I'm happily surprised that there is a whole lot more. So this range, I could call it a range because there's definitely some mountains as well. I had no idea there were that many mountains. I mean, almost 4,000 feet high. So my objective for the hike was to climb up what's called Tom's Thumb, which is 3,800 feet. It was moderately going to be just a moderate incline all the way up. It's the summer. Temperature was starting around 78 degrees. I think it ended around 83, and I thought, 45 minutes in, I'm like, well, you know, when you start climbing high or you did a slight incline in hot weather, it gets pretty tiring. So I decided to turn back around, walking flat and down, absolutely no problem. So I'm definitely going to go back. However, it was just way too hot. So nonetheless, I didn't get my objective of going up to Tom's Thumb to have an absolute beautiful view of Scottsdale, the Preserve, Phoenix, etc. However, I was absolutely blown away by all the different types of cactus out there. Absolutely incredible. I'm going to share with you a whole lot of pictures. I've never seen, and I'm looking at right now, what they call the saguaros. I can never say that word. I mean, I thought they were like 10, 15 feet high. These things were massive. I mean, absolutely, I've never seen a cactus this tall. And there were multiple. There's just one bigger. I saw a big one, and another one was bigger than the previous. And then there was another one bigger than that previous. And it just kept getting bigger. And there were just all of these other cactus, tiny, you know, middle size, a little bit big, and obviously the ginormous ones. So it was absolutely unbelievable. What also struck me as well is how green it was. You know, you think if you're flying out to Phoenix, like, oh, you know, you're going to the desert. Oh, you live in Arizona, you go to you're in the desert. Obviously, if you're not too familiar with Arizona, I mean, there's a huge difference between the north part and the south part. And I would say it changes, that you can start seeing the change in the northeast side of Phoenix. So I was absolutely blown away with how green it was. Absolutely incredibly green. And overall, we hiked about 1 hour and 21 minutes. We had anticipated probably doing 2 hours, but you know, it definitely starts getting hot. So, you know, if you want to go up and sweat all the way up, I mean, sure, you're going to have a great view. But what I did find is that when I turned back around, instead of doing the incline and saying, look, I'll do this later, I'll do Tom's Thumb later, I really didn't sweat so much. I'm a big sweater. I sweat if there's any type of heat and my muscles are starting to having to really work, I'm going to sweat. So, but on the downhill, not really a problem. So elevation gain was only 500 feet. So we definitely did not get up to anywhere near Tom's Thumb, which I do not mind, but it's definitely going to be on my to-do list. Overall, it was a great hike. And the last thing that I want to share is that Vaucluse, we're known for our cool dry frame, which I have here, which, as you can see, it's just a separator between your backpack and yourself. So there was a cool breeze, and that's what I really enjoyed on the hike, is that I could feel it. Well, even when I was going up and I was sweating, you know, I was definitely getting hot. This definitely gave some relief. You know, otherwise, if you have a backpack, and this is a tiny backpack, if you have a backpack and it's just on your back, you're just gonna sweat. But this, it helped on the way up, but definitely I could feel on the way down because it was much easier on my whole on my whole body that I just felt absolutely comfortable. So the Cool Dry frame, it attached to this bag, which is an Osprey Daylight. I believe it's a 15 liter. You can attach this to anything that you want. There's just these clips that go around the strap, and you could just attach it to any backpack that you want, and then there's Velcro. So you probably have a favorite backpack, and if you don't want to sweat as much with that backpack, and you don't want your backpack to be a sponge for sweat as well, you just simply use the Cool Dry frame. So the Cool Dry frame definitely helped during the hike. Absolutely beautiful area, northeast part of Phoenix, Scottsdale. I'll definitely be sharing more exciting hiking trips in this area. With that said, see you on the trail.